This is Bad Karma Wrestling.
Give me a hell yeah!
With No Gimmick Nick Johnston.
It doesn't matter how you feel!
And David Double D Dykstra.
Welcome in, folks. Bad Karma Wrestling in the building. No Gimmick Nick Johnston. Ready to roll here. Very special interview as we have A.M.B. and the COO of MCW, Oscar. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Very glad to have you guys here. Like I said, very special. Our first interview, so hang tight with me. Hopefully we can keep it all together and make sure we're all ready to roll. But guys, again, glad you guys made the trip out here. A little ways away from where you are, but
just a little bit.
Yeah. But just want to start off just a general, who are you? Who is A.M.B.? Who is Oscar? Where are you guys from? How'd you get into the business?
My name is Oscar. I am a COO of MCW. MCW was the brainchild of our past owner, Jimmy Smooth. Jimmy Smooth kicked off MCW in August of 2023.
Yep.
Yeah. I was a beat writer. I wrote for a couple publications on the internet.
Nice.
And wrestling has always been a passion of mine. Jimmy found out about it. And it's funny how things come full circle because I had actually been to some of Jimmy's previous shows, and I met some of Jimmy's previous wrestlers that you'll see here soon today.
I'd love to hear that. More to come, folks. Love hearing that.
Wrestling has always been in my life one way or another. And I am fortunate enough to have gotten in the position I am due to Jimmy Smooth. And, MCW is, like I said, it's his brainchild. All MCW we're trying to do is trying to provide another outlet for independent wrestlers to come and display their talents, show the world who they are, and try to get themselves out there.
Fantastic.
So that's what we want to be at MCW. We want to be an alternative. We want to be, just as good, if not better, than some of these other promotions that are out there. I think that's everybody's goal in the business. So
leave it better off,
Yes.
coming in as you do leaving it out,
100%.
type deal.
So
Exactly right, yeah. So in that case, bringing in young talent, just like you said, A.M.B. is one of those. Let me tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, so to kind of like piggyback off of him and Jimmy Smooth, a lot of people don't realize how long he's been doing this, He was primarily a referee for about 32 years in his whole career. And, a little ways down the road, he decided he wanted to bring some new entertainment to his local area. And he started some promotions and, through trial and error, labor of love, it was something that he was passionate about. And I think that kind of rubbed off on a lot of the talents he had working for him. And it definitely rubbed off on me. I'm a very passionate guy. I wouldn't be in wrestling if it wasn't for Jimmy Smooth, so I'm forever indebted and grateful to him. Just to kind of get my, short story out there, make it a little long-winded. I was just traveling for a while after high school, and I was lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And, I just 5.5 years of traveling and kind of figuring out, I'm not getting any younger. If I want to do this, I should probably do it. And I didn't really believe in myself sometimes, and it was Jimmy Smooth. And guys like Jimmy Smooth, that pretty much told me that I'm capable, I have potential.
Gotcha. When did you start your career in the ring?
So my first match was New Year's Eve of 2022.
Okay, all right. So 2022, 2023, the start of the company, so very young. So what has been maybe a peak or just maybe your highest points so far in this short term, in your own personal career and then also in just in MCW?
Personal, I would say it was kind of like a culmination of just like that belief, that other people had seen in me that I kind of failed to see in myself sometimes. I was honored and privileged with the opportunity to work with a Black and Brave student, Nasty Nick Nolan, and we told a very, very encapsulating story for our local promotion. And that was like the payoff, the real telltale sign, like, hey, this is really happening, Up until that point, it was just still kind of like a pipeline dream. That was a big personal moment. A professional moment that, a lot of people kind of overlook. is being able to wrestle at Wrigley.
Oh, nice.
That was
nice.
a huge experience. It was, I'm not much of a baseball guy, but just to be in such a historical place like that.
Yeah.
It was the first time they had ever had pro wrestling at Wrigley Field.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
I
like
think
no
the
one.
guy you just worked with recently too. I'm sure they might know him. I mean, I think
Hornswoggle.
that was.
Ah, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah. So there's been a lot of great experiences, but I definitely will have to say wrestling at Wrigley was something that nobody can take away from me. I could probably be 60 and still be proud of that moment,
As a Cubs fan, I love that.
Yeah.
White Sox fan over here, but I can still obviously respect the history.
We can coexist.
Can respect the history. It's a phenomenal venue, obviously.
Yeah, and just to kind of like wind things down a little bit, it just kind of came back to a lot of personal things in my life that kind of drove me to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
My nephew, he was diagnosed with cancer at a young age.
So I'm sorry to hear
And,
that.
I struggle with personal belief and stuff like that sometimes. And, I was just needing something bigger than myself to hang my hat on, to keep me going. And wrestling's saved my life since the moment I've started it.
That's really awesome to hear. Really
Here
awesome
I
to
am,
hear. There we
know.
go.
Yeah.
So like I said, very short time so far for MCW. What has been maybe the highest peak so far? Obviously, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. And then maybe what is the goal? What's the long-term goal for MCW?
I mean, the highest peak. I honestly, we've had the opportunity to work with some great talent already. I wouldn't really say that MCW has hit its highest peak yet. I would say one of the biggest accomplishments or one of the biggest things we've gotten to do up to this point was we had Brian Kendrick
Oh, nice.
come in and
The
Brian
Kendrick.
Kendrick, yes,
Brian Kendrick.
the Brian Kendrick
Gotcha.
came in and we actually got to spend a lot of time with him. He actually literally came over to the house. He had dinner with us.
Oh, wow.
My wife made dinner. So that was pretty cool to rub elbows and really get to pick his brain. As far as MCW, like I said, I don't think MCW has reached its peak yet. I just think we're
keep
still
growing.
scratching the surface. We have a lot of amazing talent coming in. We have a lot of talent who have not worked within the Illinois area, and I think that's one of the different things about us is we're more trying to get people from a lot of different places. We want to we definitely want to bring in a wide variety of styles, of personalities. So I would say, like I said, I don't think MCW has reached its peak. I just think we're scratching the surface.
Yeah, and just to kind of hang off of where he's leaving off at, it's definitely seen a lot of growth. I want to say over the last 8 to 9 months, and a lot of that is just due to the way we try to present everybody. We understand a little bit of wrestling, and we're still growing as well, and that's something we're not shy to admit. We're learning. It's been a labor of love for everybody, and a lot of learning curves for everybody involved.
That's actually what I was going to ask already here. What maybe was there a moment, a match, or another individual like Brian Kendrick kind of coming in that really taught you a lesson, taught you something that you just didn't really realize until now?
So he brought up Brian Kendrick. Another very, very valuable guy that we had come into MCW was Doug Basham.
Oh
from
yeah,
INDW.
yeah.
So I have participated in a few seminars, and those can be hit or miss sometimes due to time constraints and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that goes on a show day. But to really be able to get the time with, a Doug Basham, I grew up watching Doug Basham in the tag team division, wrestling Eddie and Chavo and, Deuce and Domino and all these other amazing tag teams that get overlooked. And just to be able to sit there and, him take the time to personally talk with each person on the show. Yeah. Hey, what got you in here? What's your goals? What are your strong points and stuff? And then just promos, That was something that was pretty fun to do that at the independent level you don't really get a whole lot of luxury to do unless you take that avenue yourself. Yep. You have to seek a lot of things in pro wrestling. And I think he was the one person that really ingrained it into myself. The ball doesn't stop. You got to keep going. You can't just go to a school or go and work a couple shows. You have to you got to be in it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a grind.
It's a
It's a grind.
lifestyle.
Is
It's
that
not
what you
just a
guys
hobby.
strive for when you're adding talent to your card? You want that talent that it is willing to take that next step?
Yes, because again,
You want the hungry guys. You
Yes.
want the hungry guys and
Yes.
gals out there.
Yeah, and we're looking to create that atmosphere within MCW, you know, and that's why we're kind of here today, working with you guys and kind of socializing with you guys. Is you guys have the resources and the manpower and the equipment to help bring our product up to a speed that we're wanting to present.
Yes.
And on the other end, it gives us great opportunity. It gives a lot of the young students great opportunity because it would be their first, major live event in any sort of capacity. So it's a great opportunity.
So that's
on both sides.
exactly
Just
the
like
essence
wrestling.
of-
Wrestling is a give and take,
Yeah.
business. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and it's all for the greater good. So,
Absolutely.
Yep. And that's the whole essence of MCW.
Yeah.
And that's what Jimmy founded it on. I think I'm a prime example of, in the wrestling space, what he was trying to do for people over that whole course of time. I think he just finally figured it out towards, with me in that late in his game.
Yeah.
And Oscar as well. He's a prime example of what we're trying to do for people and just talents, and not just everybody involved, but for the entire wrestling community. Just have some fun, man. It's just entertainment at the end of the day. And if you can get people emotionally invested and get people wanting to buy another ticket, it's one of the most enjoyable experiences in the world, man.
I mean, I jokingly say, professional wrestling might be the only pure art form left besides, maybe ska music or something like that. But honestly, it's just, like I said, you're here today to promote, obviously, MCW and everything else, but you're also here because April 25th. April 25th, big show, MCW, Ottawa, Illinois. Let's talk about your street fight. Let's talk about Chris the Wildcard Mercer. How did this come to be? Because he came up to you, it was your birthday. It was your birthday in front of your friends and your family, last show. And he assaulted you, essentially. He made you the way that he is. So we set up this street fight. How did this come to be?
So the very first episode, very first show that we had with MCW was in September of 2023. And, Jimmy wanted to provide opportunities for people and felt like he needed something big on his show to happen. And we were set up to do a big, crazy match, of course. And right in the beginning, an unfortunate accident happened. And again, I will say accident. It was an accident. Now, Chris, if you're watching, I've told you this hundreds of times. This was not personal. It was an accident. Unfortunately, I did a balcony dive about 20 feet high, 18, 20 feet high. And Chris, unfortunately, broke his leg.
Oh.
And, the show must go on. So things went on, and he missed 17 months of his wrestling career. And, he has a son, and that's something I admire and respect about him. He's always trying to do what he can for his family, for himself. And, he kind of forgets who was the one there checking on him day in and day out. Since he's come back from this injury, he's made it a mission statement to have my head on a platter. It started with the Jimmy Smooth Memorial Rumble. Jimmy Smooth passed away almost a year ago, May 7th. We did a memorial show for him, and I was able to withstand all the other opponents in this big Rumble, and I won, and that kind of rubbed Chris the wrong way. Personally, a lot of people don't know, Chris and Jimmy go way back, way longer than me and Jimmy. So, sense of entitlement, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he wasn't too pleased when he said, the inmates are running the asylum and you were able to make this match, but it's signed on the paper. It's ready to roll.
And that's all Damian Saint.
Yeah.
He's the guy in charge. He made it official, but, he made things very, very personal. This past February, I was there just trying to have a good time in my hometown at MCW with friends, family, and everyone else. And he viciously blindsided me with a steel chair.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
And, very lightly right there.
Kicked your head off.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely was certain that I broke my jaw, that was a rough night, to say the least. Not the best birthday experience. And he lit a fire under me because of that, I get things can get tense in wrestling. But, you know, you made it personal with me, and he's been wanting me to get personal. Just know you're not going to see the typical A.M.B. that you are used to. It's going to be a whole nother side of me, and honestly, I'm a little afraid for myself because I'm kind of scared to let this side out of me.
That was going to be my follow-up. You know, it's a street fight. Do you have any game plan, or is it just let's grab the sharpest and hardest weapon and let's just hit him? Listen,
I've danced with the devil in my life plenty of times. Chris is no different.
Okay. All right. Good to hear that. There we go. So it's set. Ready, set in stone, ready to beat up Chris Wildcard Mercer in that street fight. Got a solid rest of the card. Oscar, did you want to maybe hit the rest of the card, maybe hit some highlights? Obviously, we got some big matches all across.
I'm gonna save our championship match for other special guests.
Yeah, don't worry. We got our boy Axel Rico coming in just a little bit.
We do have a triple threat match with a couple of guys that are up and coming, very, very talented. Aries Creed, Eric Surge, and Ethan Everhart. I really had to say that Ethan Everhart, I have seen him grow as a talent from a while ago. One of the first MCW shows.
Yeah, he was at one of our first shows early on. And, you know, I've kind of run into him a few times here and there at other shows. And, you know, just to see the potential that this dude has, the explosiveness that this dude has, and he's very good at like getting the people riled up. Like he just has this energy about him, almost like you know, Macho Man-esque. Like he's just very hype. You know, he's just very hyper, and he just brings that energy. You know, and as soon as he hits the curtain, everybody gets kind of riled up and they're on their feet, and they're always taken away by what the things that he can do physically in the ring. You know, and that's kind of one of the things that we're trying to encapsulate here is like he's always working hard. He's in the gym all the time. He's always studying. And every time I've seen him wrestle, it's just always amazing. So we're glad to have Ethan back.
Awesome.
Aries Creed, he's a local guy. He's making his rounds up here. This guy, another guy, I mean, I can't say nothing bad about him. He's a student of the business, and he's excelling, and he's learning every day. Eric Surge, I just recently became familiar with Eric Surge. I watched his stuff at OVW, and this kid he's got the look, he's got the talent. So this match is gonna be a pretty good match.
Stocked up from top to bottom.
Yes, from top to bottom. I don't know, you know, who's got the upper hand in that one.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
They're all big guys, you know.
Yeah.
And for their size, you know, the things that they're capable of, it's definitely going to be a match you're not going to want to blink in.
Absolutely.
You're going to miss something if you do. So it's going to be very, very exciting.
How can people snag tickets for the show?
So follow us on social media at Midwest Championship Wrestling Illinois. We have a ticket link on all of our bios. Everything that we post, we have ticket links involved. We do have a Square site. That's how we're taking our online sales currently. We are working to get an Eventbrite page set up.
Okay, nice.
So we're still growing. Like I said, it's a labor of love for everybody involved. But definitely follow us on social media. All of our ticket links are tagged in almost every single post, every comment. So
Fantastic. So, again, April 25th, out in Ottawa, MCW. We'll be checking that out. Guys, quickly before you get on out of here, just want to get a quick, comments, questions, concerns, just the current state of indie wrestling and pro wrestling in general. Anything you want to get off your chest, just lay it out on the line, just anything.
So I just recently made a post on social media, just kind of reflecting for myself, and I had a very, very fun weekend. I was able to wrestle Hornswoggle, and then I had a ring rental, and then I had 2 more shows after that. I was very beat, very sore, very tired, but it was very rewarding to, kind of see all the promotions that had shows that weekend, all the wrestlers. Some of them are my friends, some of them I don't know yet, but it's just very good to see that wrestling's kind of in a healthy place, whether it's on TV or on the independent level. It's very good to see the growth. I kind of said it before we got on the air. Wrestling, I feel like, has become mainstream again, and it's all a big part of WWE and AEW. Whether you like one or the other, that's on you. Wrestling is wrestling.
Yeah.
love it, enjoy it all. Come buy tickets, come enjoy your local wrestlers, come and see your local promotions. You will not be disappointed.
Especially for the people in Illinois. Illinois is very lucky because and when I say it is oversaturated, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a great way. If you're a wrestling fan and you are privileged to be by one of these, I'm going to say Zawa, POW, Galley, CSW, Dreamwave.
Yes.
There's so many more that I'm not naming that are around. If you're a wrestling fan, be happy, enjoy it. There's a show I know going on every week that you could probably catch in your local area, or if not, take a 45-minute drive. It's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Every single day you can consume wrestling.
Yes.
Every single day,
Yes.
whether it's like you said live or you just going to your local indie, catching up on anything, even on YouTube.
Yes.
People have been great providing stuff like that. So
Yeah, YouTube's a great tool for guys and girls like myself at this level. YouTube's the best tool to have.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
and Instagram, I feel like Twitter as well. So.
Well, again, appreciate the time, guys.
You heard that.
What?
You heard that, right?
What?
Wrestling is wrestling no matter what. You heard that, right? I'm just making sure you heard that.
They think I'm the tribalistic mark over here. when these guys have been watching the wrestling for a cup of coffee. I've been watching since I had poop in my diapers.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I wasn't. I
fired.
did a whole thing like that. So there we go. A.M.B, Oscar, COO of MCW, April 25th. We're there out in Ottawa. Guys, thank you very much. Appreciate the
Thank you,
time.
brother.
Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you guys for
When
having
we come
us.
back, guys, we're going to have Axel Rico in the same exact seats. Do not move. We'll be right back here on Back Home Wrestling.
This is Bad Karma Wrestling
Give me a hell yeah.
with No Gimmick Nick Johnston
It doesn't matter how you feel.
and David Double D Dykstra.